Hello, humans, and welcome back. Here I am with my daughter. She has woken up in a good mood, and we're going to talk about Mario and how he's gotten stale. Mario is at a competitive disadvantage, I believe. First, let's go back in history. Let's look at Donkey Kong. Remember when Donkey Kong had gotten stale and Rare came in, gave that infusion with Donkey Kong Country? It turned the business around, didn't it? All of a sudden, that's the only model of Donkey Kong you see nowadays. Except for retro collectors, for example, in the market who want to collect old arcade games or prefer those versions, every release you get now from Donkey Kong that is a major release is always based on the Donkey Kong property. The same thing can happen to any business, and it's happened to Mario Bros, I believe. If you look at every other release for those properties, they're basically rehashes of old material. That's right, we're going to give them some positive negativity here, give it a critique, because growing stale can happen anywhere, right? And I believe that at least for this property, for this intellectual property, because of the success of the movie, they've gotten to be stale. And they have only released different coats of paint on old properties, introduced new levels to the same things. It's the Mario 3D or it's Mario World. Now, if you guys remember a while back ago, Nintendo ninjas, the lawyers, they struck down a couple of gentlemen that were trying to make Mario Bros. In Unreal Engine. And I believe that that is exactly what the franchise needs. Now, Nintendo nowadays is a more closed company. They don't have the need for outside developers like they used to when the Super NES was around, when Rare came in and basically revitalized their Donkey Kong franchise. Now, Mario's still selling. That's not the issue. But for those of us who've been around for, a long time, ever since the inception of Mario, it's been the same old song and dance. This last one I was not looking forward to. Let me tell you that. I haven't even purchased it. Why? Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over again. Right? The 3D worlds, okay, they're okay, but it's not anything new. Ever since Mario 64, again, it's just new coats of paint. Paper Mario, new coat of paint. But is there anything different? Is there anything to look forward to? I'll give you another example. Let's look at the property Super Mario Bros. 2. That was a remade game, Doki Doki Panic, right? But it looked quite different than the regular Mario Bros. Imagine if you did that game in Unreal Engine 2. A lot of times you have to listen to the customer. In any business, you have to listen to the customer. And a lot of the customers are these modders out there. What are modders doing with these properties? They're doing things way different. They're rethinking these properties. And I think that Nintendo, with this property specifically, has gotten corporate myopia because of, the exterior success, right? Because of the parts, because of this, because of that, the other. Everything's been branded with that brand of Mario. And at some point you can become oversaturated. And I believe that's what's happened to this franchise. Anything in the future looks the same. Everything in the past looks the same. So what are you going to do? What are you willing to do? Are they going to listen to the public? If this was your business, how would you handle it? Right? Where you have a story of success, you have continued success, but you have a sector of your market that is asking for something more. Then you have to give those people something to look forward to, right? Especially if that's your core base. If that's, the customer that started with you from day one, playing on the NES, then playing on the Game Boy, so on and so forth. What do they have to look forward to? You can only play Mario so many times. Are you going to play Super Mario Bros. 3 for the 100,000th time? No. I mean, right now you can start playing, every single Mario game from the beginning over and over again, and you're going to have a lot of the same experiences. A little bit different characters, a little bit different mechanics. But once in a while, you have to go out there and give your car a new coat of paint. And that is what this franchise requires. But to tell you the truth, I don't think it's possible in the environment that Nintendo operates. Nintendo has always been a company that takes on new technologies late, right? The instance with Rare is one of the very few times where Nintendo has actually allowed people from the outside come and work on their properties, reinvent them to a point where it's been more successful than the original. And that is true of Donkey Kong with the Donkey Kong Country series. Look at the internet now, right? Look at what people comment when they think of retro games, when they think of Donkey Kong. The people that think of the original arcade release are less and less every day. Even the people that grew up with the arcade release reference Donkey Kong Country as one of their favorite games. But what will happen to the Mario franchise? What is too much? I can tell you I did not get the last Mario game at all. It wasn't something that I wanted to play because it just looked like the same thing. It looked like something I could wait for. If I'm going to play the same thing again for the 50th time, I'm in no rush. I am no rush. Maybe people in the media, people in social media have to do it for the views. But if you're a regular customer out there, are you really going to spend top dollar to play something that you've pretty much played before that doesn't bring a lot of new innovation to the franchise? No, you're not. You're looking for something fresh, something new. Could they make a new property? Yeah, but you can also rehash some of the older properties in new environments with new technologies. Market it to the players today. Market it to the players that eventually are going to play your games en masse. Because if they don't, nothing's going to stop these modders from creating the alternate versions of these games that people do want to play. And no matter how much these people try to strike those people, lawyers, and using legal departments and taking down websites, this and that and the other, more will pop up. Because people will get the content that they want either from you or from whoever's offering it. And if the majority of the public starts claiming for Mario in a 3D environment on the Unreal Engine, believe you me, they're going to get it. One way of destroying your business is not giving people what they want. One way of making Mario Brothers grow stale is by not giving the customers that they want. And that applies to any business. And that's a lesson you can learn from the future, for the future. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.